Okay, hello and welcome back to some F1 2021 My Team. We're back today in the Lotus, looking for a better finish than last race, which would just be crossing the finish line. Oh, I'm still so miffed about that. But it's not a problem. We have another opportunity today at Imola. A very, very nice track. I love the flow of Imola. So without further ado, let's get into it. It looks like it's going to be a wet qualifying, but I had a look at the radar, and there should be a 5 to 10 minute window of dry spells. So I'm going to save the car for then. And as you can see, it went very dry. And we have managed to set what I thought was a pretty blistering lap. But it only moves us up to P14. But better than our last qualifying though, so yeah, let's get into the race.
Hello there and welcome back to Imola, home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters in red today. They've all turned out for what we have every expectation of being a sensational event here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Unlike most Formula One circuits, Imola is driven anti-clockwise and offers our drivers today just over 3 miles of glistening wet asphalt to negotiate. It's made up of a roughly equal split of 9 right-hand turns and 10 left-hand. Watch the drivers on the way into turn 16. Managing their speed there will be crucial, with the rain only adding to the difficulty of that downhill braking section, which then of course leads into the track's longest straight, though no DRS there today of course. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Mick Schumacher, Raikkonen, Pierre Gasly and Tsunoda, Verstappen, Bottas, Sainz and Sergio Perez, Leclerc, Giovinazzi. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Esteban Ocon, Reed, Aitken, Russell, Lance Stroll and Daniel Ticktum, Matsushita, Joe, Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, then the race is in full wet conditions, so no pit stops unless it clears up a lot, or if we get any damage. So hopefully we can just play our cards right, get past as many cars in lap 1 as possible, and get a high finish. But without further ado, we go to 5 red lights here at Imola. We are underway for the race, getting an alright start. Ocon ahead of us gets an even better start in that blue and pink livery for the Alpine. Russell gets a blistering start, going right around the outside, Aitken on the inside. Into turn 2 though, because Imola is a weird one. We're back past Aitken, and Russell's had a little slip up. We've managed to get past him just about without tapping into him. Yellow flag behind, but it's fine. Apparently I collided with him. Haven't got any damage though. Ran the outside of Ocon in turn 5. We managed to get past. Giovinazzi ahead. We're up into P13. So we have gained a place, and into turn 7 we have a look around the outside of the second Alpine here in Imola. Behind Leclerc we have the power down, ERS deployed, we have the traction on him. We can hopefully get him through into turn 9. Diving down, we get past, round the outside of Perez through into turn 11. We make it past through the 11 into the 11, 12 and 13 section. Sainz ahead of us. We go for a look around the outside of Sainz, coming towards the chicane of 14 and 15. We get past Sainz. Verstappen and Tsunoda side by side. We get past both of them, and Gasly into turn 14. We've managed to get past through 15. We've managed to gain up into P6, and we're round Bottas as well up into P5. That is an awesome start to the Grand Prix. We're still behind Hamilton, going through the final couple of corners through 16, 17, 18, and then through to 19 before the line. We get a huge amount of traction out of turn 18, getting right past Hamilton. He will have ERS on us and Slipstream. He will be using both of them to try and get past us through turn 1 and into turn 2. Into turn 2 we go. We brake a little bit earlier to get a bit more rotation through the corner. We've managed to get past Hamilton up into P4. Raikkonen in front of us, sorry. Schumacher in front of him. I'm not too sure who is in first. It's a McLaren, so I'm assuming it's Norris. But we've set a purple sector 1 on lap 2. Still behind Raikkonen, coming towards the 11, 12 and 13 section. Round the outside we're going to go into turn 11. Managing to get past him. Still sticking it on track. So don't go crying. I haven't cut the limit. I'm fine. Purple sector 2 as well. Behind Schumacher into 14 and 15. Fastest lap of the race set lap 2 by 11 seconds of our previous lap. Into turn 2 we go behind Schumacher. In these conditions though, we don't want to be battling hard with our teammate. It will cause too many issues. It can cause a crash. We will only get past Schumacher if it's an open opportunity that is easy to get past. For example, here into turn 7 we go round the inside of Schumacher, going very, very slowly through the corner. We've managed to get past another purple sector 1.
You're up to P2.
Up into P2. Schumacher is still in podium. Raikkonen hasn't gotten past him just yet, and he still hasn't towards the end of the lap. Lando Norris ahead of us. Purple sector 2. Is it going to be another fastest lap? Yes, it is. Yellow flags.
That's a new fastest lap of the race.
Schumacher's dropped down past Raikkonen. Schumacher's dropped like a fly. He's past P6 now.
The car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap form.
Into turn 5 and 6, we're right behind Norris, and Mick Schumacher is out of the session. He must have had a mechanical failure. We're going to have a look around the outside of Norris, and we
We've
can't.
been informed that the safety car is out. There appears to have been an issue with multiple stopped vehicles on the track.
That's going to be the perfect opportunity to get past, but it doesn't matter because on lap 6 the safety car is coming in. We are right behind the Velo McLaren of Lando Norris. He pulls away, we pull after him, ERS deployed. We have his slipstream. Green flag racing once again towards turn 2. We're in the slipstream, we're gaining. Having a look into turn 2, we make it side by side. He locks up his front left and we've managed to get past. No contact. Norris has locked up his wheels and Raikkonen has gotten past, as well as Hamilton. Raikkonen in P2 then. He's going to be on our tail pretty much the whole race. Lap 10, keeping an eye on our tyres because the rain is definitely clearing. The second these get too hot, we're going on to those inters if we can, even if it's for 2 laps, because I know full well the AI will. What can we do now then? Coming through into the 11, 12 and 13 section, possibly one of my favourite sections of the whole calendar. We're drifting it through. That was not intentional, but that was pretty sick. I might have to get a replay of that. Wow, okay. Yeah, replay time. Helicopter camera. Through into 11. We had a little bit of a wobble, but we managed to control it through very nicely towards the 14 and 15 chicane. We go through. Very, very loss of grip. Drifting it on the exit. What? We need to stop drifting because we will lose position, but look at how sick this replay is. That's such a cool angle, man. And then just a little drift at the end as well. Lap 12 coming through into 11 and 12 and 13 again. Very, very understeery towards the end of that corner, but it's fine. We're surviving. Raikkonen's quite far behind now. We just need to not make mistakes. He's managed to gain up to 1.2 seconds here, lap 15. And you can see we're struggling through some of these slower corners, the more flowy right left-handers, chicanes and stuff. We're struggling to keep the speed through there. Lap 16.
Final lap of the race.
Raikkonen right behind, final lap. 16 laps gone, 1 to go. Through the first chicane of 2 and 3. We go very wide into the gravel. That is not what we want to see. We have a loss of grip. We go too wide and we go off onto the gravel, pulling back onto the track. Raikkonen pulls around the outside towards 5 and 6. He's ahead of us now in 5 and 6 towards turn 7 into the 11, 12, 13 section. We're right behind Raikkonen, looking right. We pull to the left to look around the outside. We manage to get past very, very closely by. Huge collision with Hamilton there in the bottom right of our screen. Hamilton out of the race, slammed into the back of Raikkonen. It's going to be a battle towards the chicane of 14 and 15. Raikkonen's right on us. He's going to be with us to the line.
Incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it
Our
up in
gear,
time,
I
and
keep.
there are no plans
Why am
for
I
a
shifting
safety car
down?
right now.
Oh, I'm an idiot, man. If I lose this race because I shifted down, I'm going to be annoyed. Through turn 18, technically not the final corner, to the checkered flag to take our first victory
Anyone want to go again?
of the season.
Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
That's 26 points with the fastest lap. 26 for Mick last race. 52 points so far for the team. We are tied
And that's it then for the Emilia
for
Romagna
P1
Grand Prix. And what a
in the
sensational
championship.
victory they've managed to pull off here. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
A show-stopping performance from the three drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
Well, that was eventful. Started P14, finished P1. Opening lap was insanity. But, wow. It's unfortunate that Mick had to retire. Because if he didn't, the points haul would be huge right now. But we managed to get the win in the Lotus. 2 wins. 2 races completed, 2 wins. Standings-wise, me, Mick, and Perez all tied for P1 in the Drivers' Championship. Constructors-wise, we are ahead. But what a race. And I really hope this is one that goes well views-wise, because this is the sort of shit that pulls people in. Anyways, thank you for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to subscribe. And I will see you in the next one for the infamous Monaco Grand Prix.